Let's do this.
It's time for Hangin' with Langan.
I like that she's got a big dirty mouth that gets her in trouble.
Wow.
Stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time.
That was a smooth transition. How are you guys? You're hanging with Langan. How are you? I'm Maureen Langan, a broadcaster, journalist turned stand-up comic. Been doing comedy a couple decades now, but I love connecting with you guys. And what Hanging with Langan is about: fun, heart, smart. Sometimes we're ridiculously silly, and sometimes we go deep. Talk to a man who wrote a book about the stealing of the paintings of the Jews in Nazi World War II. I mean, little light topics like that, and then ridiculously fun commentary, and I bring on comedy friends. So that will be happening in just a minute. But if you're watching this, please share it. Just share. It shows you care. That's what it's about. So you can also follow this. I want you to subscribe to Patreon and Apple, Spotify. Give it a great review. That's how we grow the numbers. That's how we get people watching. And we've been getting good feedback, which makes me very happy. So in a moment, I'm going to bring on some women associated with the Ladies of Laughter. This is a competition that's held every year for female comics around the fruited plain. It's a showcase for them. They get to get on stage. They get to be seen in different venues. And then from that has become the Ladies of Laughter's tour. So all of these comedians who have been past finalists and winners get to traipse around the country, hawking and whoring their wares. Whoring, I wish I could turn back time. And it's really great. It's done a lot for female comics. So I'm going to have the founder, the CEO of Ladies of Laughter, because I'm doing a big show we're all doing this big show on Saturday, September 18th at the Mount Baker Theater in Washington State in Bellingham. Cannot wait. I'm so excited. I've never been there. That's the best thing about, I think, being a comic is I think I like both. I like sniffing out and seeking out all the cool things by day and then getting on the stage at night. It's just so great, which was, by the way, was the TV pilot I did called Mo Goes. But the agent said, my right hand to God, we really like this, but what are we going to tell the networks about your age? This from about a 78-year-old guy who's about 300 pounds. That's what he said to me. I said, well, why don't you tell them that I am the most haggard 18-year-old or the hottest 90-year-old you've ever met? Why don't you do that? Let's do that. Let's play that. And then why don't you go on Noom? Why don't you do that then and find out why you're so evil and angry and take it out on me? Okay, so what I want to do is, I want to show you this. Mount Baker Theater, Bellingham, Washington. I'm very excited. If you're in that area, know people in that area, go to maureenlangan.com/gigs. All the information will be there. Or, of course, you can just search Mount Baker Theater and check it out there. So the woman who has given all of us, I, by the way, was one of the Ladies of Laughter finalists in the first year. I don't even know what year that was. It's a long, long time ago. But I was so excited. I want to bring on Peggy Boyce, the founder and CEO of Ladies of Laughter. Hey, Peg.
Hi, Mo. How are you?
Very professional. That's how I am. I think you see that.
Listen, I want you to get out all of your frustrations now. Oh no, hold them for the show because that's the way we like it. We like you to let.
You need to let out my rage on the stage. I do that. I just want to let people know, though, 2 women are going to be joining us who were finalists, winners actually in recent years, Liz Glazer and Katie Hannigan. So I'm excited to have them join us in a couple minutes. Yippee-yay. Peggy, let's talk about the Ladies of Laughter. I gave a quick synopsis, but how do you describe it?
The Ladies of Laughter is the launching pad for women in comedy. It's the career builder.
Yes.
Career builder. And so what we strive to do is to jumpstart the careers of women in comedy. And it could be women that are just starting out, or it could be women that have been around for a while and just aren't getting noticed for whatever reason. And so this is an opportunity to give them some notoriety, get them some paid work, get them in some beautiful venues where, they have appreciative audiences that are there to actually see them. Just perform in a nice arena, and also with other ladies that are also, thrilled to be there.
And you have 2 categories, right? Pros who've been working a certain amount of time and amateurs. So talk about those 2 categories.
Well, I mean, the newcomers are people, time-wise, we like to say, 3 years or less. There are a lot of people in comedy, as you know, that stop and start. They go for a little while and they get discouraged, or they're just like, they have a job, and they don't, head out to the clubs every night. So, I mean, it's sort of, it depends on how long you're performing. It depends on, how often you perform, the types of clubs you perform, the time that you perform. Is it at 5 o'clock, or is it at 8 o'clock at a New York City club or at a major city club? So we have those, and then we have those that have really strong credits. Those women like yourself that have been doing it for a long time, and are headliners and get work on their own or through an agent, and perform 45 minutes to an hour or a half hour, and can do a solid set. And
what was the first year you did this, Peg?
Well, the first year I actually did it was 1998.
Was that me?
You were 99. You were 1999.
Comedy a year at that point.
You were like a baby. You were like a fetus.
I was a fetus.
Yeah, you were so young. I don't even think your eyes were open yet.
Mm.
So you were really, really young. But the first year we did it in a YWCA in Bergen County, and
Bergen County, New Jersey. This is an international podcast, Peggy. International.
That's right. Bergen County, New Jersey, which is a state in the United States. And so we did it in New Jersey, in New York metropolitan area, and we had a good turnout. And then the following year, we were basically ushered through comedy clubs and casinos. And the following years, we were at Madison Square Garden and some other major casinos. And so it got very big very quickly. We almost couldn't catch our breath because it grew too big almost right at the get-go. And then after 9/11, we kind of took a break for a while, and brought the show back for a few years. And then I just was not, making any money, so I had to get a real job. And so I stopped, doing it. I held on to the trademark and thought, you know what, I'll come back to it when the time is right. And so in 2012, I was doing some work through an agency, a booking agency, and started to see sort of how we could do this, and decided let's try it again. So we did the contest, and then we did a tour, and we started with theaters in the New York metropolitan area. And then we started going to theaters outside of New York and on the West Coast and in the South and all over the place. So in the last 10 years, that's really what I wanted to do, was to have a tour with women at different points in their careers, that.
Yeah, and what you've also done, she gets great venues. I mean, we were down in Atlantic City at the casinos performing. We're doing a great theater. This isn't part of the competition. This is part of the tour in Washington State
Right.
next week on September 18th at the Mount Baker Theater. But Peggy, let's talk about some of the big names who've come through the competition.
Oh, sure. Well, some of the people
Maureen Langan.
Obviously, right at the top of the list is Maureen Langan, and along with the only, I think, other redhead, Chris Rich, who was
Also Philly area.
she was our winner at Caesars the night you were at the show, the night you performed, and then we've had Melissa Rauch from The Big Bang Theory. We've had Michelle Buteau. That year that Michelle Buteau was in it, it was like Michelle Buteau, Melissa Rauch. There's a couple of really names that I forget, and then I'll see them in something and I'll go, oh, they did the contest. You know what I mean?
Did Amy Schumer do it? I saw that. Did Amy do it, or is that just a rumor?
Amy Schumer did it. She did it out in Long Island at one of the preliminary events. She did it at the Brokerage, which is a club out. And she showed up. I still have her entry form. It's kind of fun. And she sort of showed up at the last minute, and she was very young. I think she was like underage, and we had a beer sponsor at the time. And I was like, I wonder if I'm allowed to have someone in under 18 or 21. And, she did it anyway. And so, yes.
What did her application, I'm raising my hand. What did her application say that you recall?
I do remember where she lived on Long Island at the time, but I'm not.
Maybe she had to write a little essay about why she wanted to be in the
Oh,
show.
no. She was part of our Long Island, group. There was, a lot of women that were from Long Island, but yeah, we've had some great ladies that have gone on to really fantastic things. And what I like about it is also the camaraderie that, when you go to these events and someone that maybe isn't used to playing theaters, the other ladies kind of help them along. And so you rise to the occasion when you're in that atmosphere because of, where you are and because of the other talent. And that's always a fun thing to watch.
You know what I think too is important is because we all slug it out. We all slug it out. We're in corners. I mean, I've worked at, like at Hooters performing comedy where the guys there aren't looking for me. I mean, if they're 86 with large print Kindles, but you get like, we do a million open mics. All of this stuff is important. It's all important to test your chops, to learn the ropes, totally. But
Right.
when you do venues that Peggy Boyce, the founder and CEO of Ladies of Laughter, provides through her competition and tour, you get to see what can be. You get to see what being a successful comic looks like. It gives you hope. You're like, wow, I can do a casino. I can dream about doing these theaters.
Right.
And that's really hopeful because when you're a comic, you get so downtrodden at times. And I think it gives people a lot of hope. And I wouldn't know you if I didn't do this. Well, I probably would know you because we're both very cool people and we would have connected regardless.
Yes. And we're both Irish.
Irish. Yes. I was talking to an Irish friend of mine, Miss Molly. She was the romper room lady with a mirror. And I was telling her how my mother, you just can't, she's from Ireland, so you can't acknowledge any health issues. You can't acknowledge, like she had a bit of a heart attack. I don't know why they have to call it that. It's a bit of an issue. Why they make a fuss? And
Right.
my friend Molly goes, Maureen, my grandmother broke her jaw and she tied a scarf. This is so Irish. But anyway, why don't we bring on a couple of the gals who won? All right. And
actually, one of them was the most recent winner, and the other one was a finalist. That's just as good as anybody. And she's got
finalist. That's a winner. If you're a finalist,
absolutely,
you're a winner. Everybody gets a trophy. No, that's not true. Everybody does not get a trophy. That is no. It's a lot of work. And all right, so we're going to bring on the 2021 winner, Liz Glazer, a stand-up comedian who used to be a law professor. And she won first place in the professional division. Liz Glazer, you were on Hanging with Langan.
Hi.
All the way from my beloved Garden State, New Jersey.
Yeah, I appreciated when you were talking about Bergen County. I'm from Bergen County. I live in Bergen County, but that's like where I'm from.
Great, from.
Yeah.
And let's bring on Katie Hannigan again. She's a New York-based comedian, Late Show with Stephen Colbert, a finalist in 2016, the hippest class on the planet. Katie Hannigan.
Hello. Amazing to be here. Thank you for having me, ladies.
Katie, I'm going to sometimes call you Katie Cates because my sister's Katie and we called her Katie Cates.
I love it.
I can't help myself. So when did you start comedy, Katie?
Well, I started doing stand-up in 2010. And I believe I did the Ladies of Laughter in 2016. And then I did it again in 2018. But I didn't place in that year. I didn't need to say that about myself, but
no, but that's good for people to know. That's comedy. It runs the gamut, and you got to do the. Sorry.
What? Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, are you sorry?
I'm sorry too.
We're all sorry.
It's a ladies' show. Sorry.
My feelings. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Are your feelings okay? So, Liz, talk about when you won. You won. Was it
most recently?
2020.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah. Wait. So was there a question that was unanswered after we said sorry a million times or no?
Probably.
Okay. I just feel bad if I answer a question when there was an unanswered question. I think that's like, because I'm a woman, maybe, and I'm always sorry. And like, God forbid that I should speak when somebody else should be speaking. And also because I'm a lawyer. I don't know. But you wanted me to talk about the experience of
Well, first of all, you left. Let's talk about you leaving law. This is a question you get all the time. You left the law profession. What'd you say? I can't freaking take this anymore, because there are a lot of comics who were lawyers.
True. Yeah, I don't think I said that. I mean, maybe I said it, in my life, but like it wasn't that kind of thing. It was more like I actually had a pretty good gig, especially by the time I left, because I was teaching law, which like as far as legal careers, like pretty much like the sweetest gig you could get within law.
Where were you teaching?
I taught at Hofstra on Long Island. But I was visiting for a semester at Northwestern, which is like a thing that people do when, in academia. It's like, you'll go to another school for like a semester, whatever, but like you still have your job at home. Anyway, so I did that, and I did stand-up for the first time, which the backstory on that is like there was this woman who I had a crush on at the time. Nothing ever happened, but she was like, I know, it's okay. But she said, "Oh, did you ever think of doing stand-up comedy?" And I said, "No." And she's like, "Oh, well, would you do it on my show?" And like, I would have gone, anywhere. She
did like you. She liked you a little bit. I
don't know. I mean, it's possible, but we're friends. It's all fine. But like, I did it for the first time, on her show, because I was just like, I will literally go anywhere this person tells me to go. And then, this is going to be like the joke version, which I always like to say when I'm in conversation because it's gross otherwise. But like, the first time I ever did it, stand up, like I felt like I was having a professional orgasm, which was essentially a regular orgasm, but I was 100% sure that I was having it. And so on that basis, that's like why I decided to go, to leave. And, there was a little bit of overlap, but yeah, that's the long and the short of it.
And what year was that you began? I
began in 13. I announced my retirement in 14, effective 15 in the spring. And then, but did it throughout since 13.
Good for you. Katie Hannigan, where did you, tell me like how you started? Did you just start right out? Did you have a different career?
Well, I moved to New York in 2008. I was intending to pursue acting and also experimental theater. So I was doing all kinds of like very...
I thought you were going to say experimental drugs. Or go ahead.
Yeah, well, that too. For the arts.
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
I came from Indiana. So I moved after college, and I was doing like very entry-level audition stuff, and it was all very, very upsetting, misogynistic, like, I would be like a truck stop prostitute and I wouldn't even book it, so I could not get my foot in the door. Finally, I booked a student scene from Requiem for a Dream, and I booked it with this guy who was a comic, and we were just making fun of this poor kid the whole time. We're like, why are we doing this? And he was like, oh, you should try stand-up. So I went to my first open mic, and that was in early 2010. And the first open mic, I was like, this is exactly what I want to be doing. I was kind of in I was doing a lot of experimental theater, a lot of self-produced plays, and it was just so, it was so like pretentious. It's like people say that like, oh, comedians can be like narcissistic and pretentious. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's nothing compared to, people that are like doing puppetry, like body puppetry.
Very good. Very good. I love it. Hey, I want to give a shout out to a few people watching here. Hey, you Jim Clefield. Hey, Ed Edwards. Some very cool people watching Hanging with Langan. We're talking about Ladies of Laughter. It's a touring comedy for women at different theaters. It's also a competition where we have all come through and been able to get some more of our sea legs as comedians. I'm with a finalist and a winner, Katie Hannigan, Liz Glazer, and the founder, Peggy Boyce. I want to give a shout out to where we're going to be. All of us, the four of us, will be in Washington State on Saturday, September 18th. It's the Mount Baker Theater in Bellingham, Washington. Gorgeous theater. So excited to be there. If you know people who are there, please let them know, share. They can find out all the information. I have it up at maureenlangan.com/gigs. And of course, you can go to Ladies of Laughter and you can go to the Mount Baker Theater. So check it out at maureenlangan.com because I want to funnel, my followers there, but I share. So you could go to the Mount Baker Theater and you can go to ladiesoflaughter.org. And, let people know because it's a big deal. And while we're at it, I'm going to do just a little commercial break and let you know other places I will be. If you ladies don't mind, I'm putting you back in the green room for 30 seconds. Bunch of gigs coming up. On September 22nd, I will be in Mill Valley, California, outdoor in the park downtown. Great event. Again, it'll be on my website. September 24th, back in one of my favorite places, Long Island, the Brokerage, the 24th of September. And the 25th of September, I will be on LBI, Long Beach Island, in my beloved Garden State, New Jersey. And then next in October, I'm going to Wisconsin. I'm excited to go to Wisconsin. I'm going to Wisconsin. All right, so there we have that. And here we go. And if you want to book a holiday comedy party, you can reach out to ladiesoflaughter.org or contact me and I'll put you all in touch and we'll make the magic happen.
I would love to do a holiday party.
We have to do it with Peggy Boyce, founder of Ladies of Laughter, CEO, don't you think?
I do. I wish I had like a master's or something. You put MA at the end of it, or
masters. You mean for your Ladies of Laughter?
Yeah, I could make my title longer. I could have my nameplate longer.
I have an Esquire I'm not using, so you could have it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do that. They have PhDs and all kinds of things, but I went to community college, and they don't have letters. They don't really have letters.
You are now MA. I added that to your. Well, let's do a funny conversation before about selling merchandise after shows.
Yes.
And I sell my "Don't Make Me Hate You" T-shirts over my shoulder, maureenlangan.com, because I don't want to hate them. They make me hate them. I'm a victim. But you, Liz, I know you wanted to say something because selling merch, you got to carry your suitcase full with T-shirts, and you think, "Oh my God, I'm a circus clown." Liz, what did you have?
Well, okay, so I've been thinking about selling merch, but I haven't, and I don't have any. And so, like, when we got the email from Peggy Boyce, MA, founder, Ladies of Laughter, asking if any of us was going to sell merch, I didn't respond, which is unlike me. I'm usually very responsive, but I was like, well, maybe I can get some merch in the interim. And I haven't done that because I take a while to make decisions, and maybe also I'm afraid. I don't know. But in any event, I was like, well, if the complaint is that you don't want to lug a whole thing around, why don't you just sell one shirt for like $500 if someone wants it? And so my proposal, okay, is I have a couple bat mitzvah shirts, originals from my bat mitzvah. And so, listen, if somebody wants one of those for $500, that's fine. If not, I'm not pressuring anybody, but I don't want to carry the suitcase. There are not many of those around. I'm not reprinting. And so that's my strategy. So maybe I wasn't going to write to Peggy Boyce, MA, founder, Ladies of Laughter, saying I'm going to sell one bat mitzvah t-shirt, but I hope that this suffices as notice that that's what I should be doing.
Will you be, does it have a special saying, your bar bat mitzvah, said the Irish Catholic girl? Does it have anything on it? Does it say, I love being a Jew? What does it say?
Yeah. I mean, it was a momentous occasion. So it was, my theme was tennis, because I wanted to be good at tennis. I was not. But I really wanted to be. And no, I was like, okay, as a kid. But in any event, it has like 2 crisscross rackets. And I know I'm whetting the appetites of at least, what did you say, James and Edward, who are watching. If you're going to be at the show, get your kesef ready because this is going to be at the merch table. So it's 2 crisscross rackets. It says Liz's Invitational, a pun that my mother, I believe, is still very proud that she thought of. It's pretty good. And then it has, Tam Crest Country Club, which is closed, not pandemic closed from before. It's in Alpine, New Jersey, which is in Bergen County.
You're rich. You grew up rich. I'm hearing Alpine, New Jersey. I'm hearing tennis. I grew up in Lake Hiawatha, where until the recent hurricane, there was no lake. So you have a lot of money. You grew up wealthy.
Well,
I'm feeling the wealth. It's oozing.
Yeah, but it's not exactly, okay? Like my parents were like good at social climbing. And so they were very interested in us being around people who had money. And so it was very much like beyond our means kind of thing. I definitely should not be saying this on Facebook. If my mother sees this, I cannot come to the show because I will be dead.
Well, then I'll see you and I'll raise you. We did not let people in our house because of the craziness. So we couldn't social climb because we couldn't connect with anyone.
Right.
Katie K. Hannigan. So you started in 2010. You've been on the Colbert Show. Did you get management very early, or did they just spot you? People just said, "Come on our show."
No, I didn't get any management until after I had gone to the Just for Laughs festival, after I had done stand-up for 8 years. So I went through a very uncomfortable period where a lot of people would say, "Do you have a manager?" And I'd say, "No, I need help." And they'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then I would never hear anything back. And so I was really hoping to get one. And I had some offers from people that I just didn't feel like were the right fit.
Right.
So I kind of was of the mindset that unless I really feel like it's the right fit, I'm not going to go with it because, I think it's exciting to be like, oh, I can get a manager. But then a few of the people that I met and worked with, it just did not seem legitimate. So
who are you working with now if people want to reach out to you?
My manager is Becky Astfan. I'm with AGI, and I'm very happy there. So it was worth the wait. It was definitely worth the wait for me.
Good for you. I've worked with managers here or there who call me to do things, but I've never fully aligned myself with the right match either. And I've been doing this 120 years because it has to be the right match. So I work with, I should take that back. So I'm working with somebody great right now. Forgive me, who books me in theaters. Oh my God. But that's a theater side, not the really as much stand-up and TV and that type of thing. That's what I meant. Oh, sorry. But the first time, one of the managers, two managers that I met with early on. One, he wanted to have a meeting. I get to his office and he's stoned and the room was filled with pot. Sorry.
That's a red flag. That's a red flag.
I can't. This is what you're doing. I can't. Don't make me hate you. I can't. Then the other one, this was a real telling sign, meets with me in Manhattan, wants to have lunch. And we have like a salad. We split the bill and I owed $18. I'm like, I can't. Really? You can't plop down $20 when you want to meet with me? It's just showed a lack of character to me. And I'm thinking, if you're going to be like that, I can't.
Yeah.
That's also just like really weird. Oh, sorry, Peggy.
No, I was just going,
wild, right?
So I'm not an agent or a manager, but will I have to pick up the bill if we go out and dine outside of the show? Is that I'm expected to do that?
No, I don't think so. It's kind of you to do it. Thank you. You didn't have to. This is the deal. We're doing a show Saturday night. Where, for those who just tuned in, Mount Baker Theater, Bellingham, Washington. Tick info, go to Maureen Langan gigs. But we're doing a gig on Saturday night. Peggy's like, the venue needs to know what you want to eat. We have to know now, right? I'm like, oh, all right, a little pressure. Chicken piccata. Anybody else?
Oh, me too.
Oh.
Yeah, that looked good. But remember, ladies, this is going to be something going to eat after. So if you pack it up to go, we can certainly eat backstage. But Maureen, remember, you're going to be selling all of like hundreds of T-shirts. By the time that congeals and everything, I don't know if that's what you really want, because
I'll take it to go, Peggy. Don't worry about me and my meal. I have T-shirts to sell. 2 years of graduate school, I'm a T-shirt saleswoman. I have things to do. There's been a pandemic. I invested a fortune in these friggin' things.
we might have a microwave in the hotel. I'm not sure.
Great. I look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm not bringing any merch either. I forgot to mention, but I've been on the road for already 6 days now, and I didn't pay for any luggage, so this was my only bag that I took, and I could not get my merch in there. Can you believe it? I just took the Fajal.
You should sell the bag.
I think that's right. I'll just sell my personal effects. Like,
yeah,
this is a used lipstick. This has my DNA on it, and
the thing is, Katie, then we could just like write a joke about that thing, and then they could have that thing.
That's right. It's all. Yeah, it's. I see this as being something.
I'm gonna bring that shirt.
Well, I tried to sell a few NFTs, a few jokes on NFTs, and I did not get any. I set it pretty high. I put it at $1,200 because I thought, maybe there's a wealthy businessman out there who wants to invest in me.
What's NFT?
Or woman.
What's happening with NFTs? What?
It's a futuristic thing that you make something online and it can't be copied. So you sell an online reproduction of a picture or something. So
that's a mind fuck that thing. I don't know what they're talking about with the NFTs, and it does. I can't. Somebody buys it, they sell it. I can't. But that good, you can because you're a hipster.
Well, you could be selling NFTs at the show because you could advertise for them.
That's true. Yeah. Well, we'll sort it out before then, ladies. But you can get "Don't Make Me Hate You" t-shirts at Maureen Langan. All right. Listen, Peggy, tell people, sum it up for them. Ladies of Laughter, when will the next round for women who want to compete as an amateur or a pro? They get an opportunity to bond with other really cool women. They get an opportunity like the three of us who will be performing on Saturday night. We didn't know each other because we've all worked with different comics at different times. So it's going to be really cool. So Peggy, where do people learn more about Ladies of Laughter?
You can go to ladiesoflaughter.org. And we're going to be a couple of places over the next couple of weeks. We'll be back at the Goodwill Theater, which is right near Binghamton, New York. Liz was there last, I guess, about 2 weeks ago. And then we'll be at TCAN, which is the Center for Arts in Natick, Massachusetts. That's happening in October. And then Ball State University, Prius Hall. That's happening as well in October. So we have a whole list of dates that you can check out. It's the next competition is what happens is we skip a year because I like to send the winners out on tour. So, and it takes almost 2 years to book those things. So, it's like 2 years. So we're going to, the next one will not be next year. Will not be 2022. It'll be 2023.
Wow, I can't believe we're talking these numbers. Hey, Peggy, a shout out from Danny McKenna, Rascal's manager.
Danny, yes.
Professional, organized, great to see you're still promoting, he says.
Oh, wow. I remember Rascal's. That was one of the greatest clubs in the United States. I miss that.
Yeah, people would agree with that. Liz, give a shout out where people can follow you.
You could go to www.dearlizglazer.com, and that's really where it's at.
Katie Hannigan, where can people follow you?
I'm on Twitter at Katie Hannigan, and I'm on Instagram at Katie Hannigan Forever. And whoever is listening, if you would follow me, it would really help me, and I do need some help. So please, I'm not saying you can follow me I'm saying please, for the love of God, I've got to get my numbers up.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna follow you right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's super easy, everybody.
Follow everybody. Follow Katie Hannigan. Liz,
there it is. Katie Hannigan Forever. Follow. Did it.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless you.
And Ladies of Laughter, of course, follow me, Maureen Langan. Hey, you gals, I look forward to seeing you on Saturday night, Bellingham, Washington. I'm going to give another little shout out here. And Mountain Baker Theater, 7:30. And go to maureenlangan.com/gigs, and all the information is there. So, and again, you guys subscribe on Patreon, subscribe on Apple, and book some holiday shows because people are getting out and about again. You can book a Ladies of Laughter show, or you can call me.
We can do virtual shows. We can do live shows.
I love a virtual show.
Yeah. I mean,
Ladies of Laughter bingo.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, you guys, you know how to reach me if any of that interests you. And I'm going to put the ladies back in the green room. I'm so looking forward to working with them next week. And until we meet again, bye, Wig.